Hail, listeners! You are attending the Transreal News, the mightiest source of news, travel advisories, and forecasts for travelers through the astral planes, outer noosphere, and time itself. I am Torg Skullcrusher, your host. And now, the news in brief. After its defeat last week, the Aussieflora Hive Mind has entered into an arms race with Retrograde Dynamics. They seek to learn which force can effectively create the most powerful warrior, with increasingly nightmarish plant kaiju coming out of the heart of the artificial time tempest. Meanwhile, Retrograde Dynamics has been producing increasingly more powerful superhumans to counter them. Sadly, Miyuki P, the charismatic and plucky synthesizer player for Sabaku no Ken Otome, was slain during the last battle, and Retrograde Dynamics has pulled the team from the field in favor of new, more powerful superhumans. The outpouring of grief from fans across the world has raised the global Camus level to 1.25, with pockets of intense depression appearing over several major cities around the Pacific Rim. The Indigo child migration has halted in Baker, California, as thousands of Indigo children have stopped to listen to the stories of the imaginary alien creature known as Visitor Zorg. Zorg appears to be a manifestation of the children's collective conscience and compassion, and seems to have kept reality warfare in the area surprisingly low. And now, in very much related news, your time-space forecast with Walter Haversquirrel.
Listeners, I am amazed at the readings that I have been seeing. Every time-space distortion and concentrated queel patch on the planet, except for the ones connected to the Indigo children of North America, seem to have been drawn in and used by the Aussieflora Hive Mind. And as it absorbs greater and greater amounts of irreality, some of the more improbable things that have changed about our world seem to be normally back to pre-breakdown states. If you have vital bionic components, I encourage you to coat them with quantum locking polymer, just in case they start to vanish.
Beware, listeners, for now we shill for one of our corporate sponsors.
Everything magical comes at a cost, and sometimes that cost can be severe. If something seems to be too good or too miraculous to be true, then there are probably hidden strings attached. At the House of the Echoes of Light, we want to make magic as transparent as we possibly can. That is why we offer resurrection services that are safe and affordable, but come with sacrifices, be those literal or in the form of curses you will have to live with for the rest of your life. If you are grieving, come talk to us, and let us help you determine if necromancy is right for you, or if grief counseling might be a better fit. The House of the Echoes of Light. Magic, clarity, compassion.
And now here's Toby and Klie with their Journal from Beyond.
This is Toby Dent, reporting from the ruins of the plain of Grammaton, which was once one of the strongholds of the authorities. It is in utter ruin.
My loves, the world is mired in televistic slime. The ground is coated knee-deep everywhere we look in shimmering TV static sludge. Even the sky is the color of a television set to a dead channel. Great towers of ivory and gold have crumbled and sunk into it.
The beings who live here are dealing with the effects of acute exposure. Ones we have met are barely responsive. Many sit in a haze staring at the flicker of the ooze, barely able to care for themselves. Others paddle along on rafts, but have become horribly mutated. At least a few of the beings that we could get to talk to us say that all of the authorities' worlds have been hit by similar slime floods. They say it came raining down from holes in the sky.
The Archons we have found here seem particularly affected. It seems to drive them mad. They weep, gibber, and howl. The only thing that we've been able to say that gets a response from them at all is the word clip-off. And you can hear for yourself how that goes.
9956, 9956. He knew the answer. 23, 23, 23, 17, 18, 9, 15, 6. He understood better than me. I should have listened. Ivory bicycles, you finch, actualized radishes green. That is the cause of causality. Is it not 9956? 9956? Answer me.
Excuse us, sir.
Mortals. I remember mortals. A flash in the eye. The rhythm of the timer of a toaster oven. Why are they here? Why should they not be here? They meet us. They meet the slime. Tides of chaos, always churning.
We don't mean to bother you, but we need some information.
Information?
We want to know about the clip-off.
The clip-off. They echo the reset. Every time we reset the world over and over again, we never get it right. Burn so many. I could gouge out my eyes rather than see another reset. But a reset must come. We can't lose control. Tides of chaos.
We're sorry, we meant no harm. Toby, did you see? I did. Every time the clip-off are mentioned, the creatures we talk to seem to cower from a ruin in the distance. Whatever the clip-off are, we are going to find out about them there. Thankfully, the Skylark seems to be handling the slime pretty well. It's just getting in and out that's hard. In the meantime, we know where the slime has been going, loves. It looks like the Hive is fighting their own little war against the authorities. And they may be winning. I just wish I knew if that were a good or a bad thing. We might have to wait until we reach that ruin to get a clear picture. This is Toby Damned, signing off. Safe journeys, travelers.
You have been listening to Transreal News, an independent news source for astral projectors, ethereal jaunters, and eaters of the lotus. Hail, listeners, and may your course be lined with lesser foes.
The Transreal News was created, directed, written, and performed by Brian C. Rideout, and produced by Stormhead Productions, and is released under a Creative Commons by Attribution, Non-Commercial 4.0 license. This episode of Transreal News included music and sound effects from Pixabay. For show notes or contact information, visit trans-real.stormheadproductions.ca or visit me on Twitter at transrealpod. I love hearing from my audience. If you have comments, questions, or an idea for a news article, please by all means drop me a voicemail. Check out my homepage and look for the heading Tell Me What You Think in the sidebar. Then just hit record to tell me what's on your mind. Thank you so much for listening.